Valmiki Ramayana, Ayodhya Kanda, Book Number 2, Sarga 82, Roman numerals LXXXII, 82. D. Departure. The prudent prince the assembly viewed, thronged with its noble multitude, resplendent as a cloudless night, when the full moon is in his height, while robes of every varied hue a glory o'er the synod threw. The priest in lore of duty skilled looked on the crowd, the hall that filled, and then in accents soft and grave to Bharat thus his counsel gave. The king, dear son, so good and wise, has gone from earth and gained the skies, leaving to thee, her rightful lord, this rich, wide land with foison stored. And still has faithful Rama stood firm to the duty of the good, and kept his father's host aright, as the moon keeps its own dear light. Thus, sire and brother, yield to thee this realm from all annoyance free. Be joys thy lord's, and joy thine own. Anointed king, ascend the throne. Let vassal princes hasten forth from distant lands, west, south, and north, from Kerala, from every sea, and bring 10,000,000 gems to thee. As thus the sage Vashishta spoke, a storm of grief o'er Bharat broke, and longing to he just and true, his thoughts to duteous Rama flew. With sobs and sighs and broken tones, and as a wounded mallard moans, he mourned with deepest sorrow moved, and thus the holy priest reproved. Oh, how can such as Bharat dare the power and sway from him to tear? Wise and devout and true and chaste, with scripture lore and virtue graced, can one of Dasharatha's seed be guilty of so vile a deed? The realm and I are Rama's. Thou shouldst speak the words of justice now. For he, to claims of virtue true, is eldest born, and noblest too. Nahush Dilipa could not be more famous in their lives than he. As Dasharatha ruled of right, so Rama's is the power and right. If I should do this sinful deed, and forfeit hope of heavenly need, my guilty act would dim the shine of old Ikshwaku's glorious line. Nay, as the sin my mother wrought is grievous to my inmost thought, I here, my hands together laid, will greet him in the pathless shade. To Rama shall my steps be bent, my king of men most excellent. Raghu's illustrious son, whose sway might hell and earth and heaven obey. That righteous speech, whose every word bore virtue's stamp, the audience heard. On Rama every thought was set, and with glad tears each eye was wet. Then if the power I still should lack to bring my noble brother back, I in the wood will dwell and share his banishment with Lakshman there. By every art persuasive I to bring him from the wood will try, and show him to your loving eyes, O Brahmans, noble, good, and wise. And now the road to make and clear, each laborer, pressed and pioneer, have I sent forward to proceed the army I resolve to lead. Thus, by fraternal love possessed, his firm resolve the prince expressed. Then to Sumantra, deeply read, in holy texts he turned and said, Sumantra, rise without delay, and as I bid, my words obey. Give orders for the march with speed, and all the army hither lead. The wise Sumantra, thus addressed, obeyed the high-souled chief's behest. He hurried forth, with joy inspired, and gave the orders he desired. Delight each soldier's bosom filled, and through each chief and captain thrilled, to hear that march proclaimed to bring dear Rama back from wandering. From house to house the tidings flew, each soldier's wife the order knew, and as she listened blithe and gay, her husband urged to speed away. Captain and soldier soon declared, the host equipped and all prepared. With chariots matching thought for speed, and wagons drawn by ox and steed, when Bharat by Vasishta's side his ready host of warriors eyed. Thus in Sumantra's ear he spoke, my car and horses quickly yoke. Sumantra hastened to fulfill with ready joy his master's will, and quickly with the chariot sped, drawn by fleet horses nobly bred. Then glorious Bharat, true, devout, whose genuine valor none could doubt, gave in fit words his order out, for he would seek the shade of the great distant wood, and there win his dear brother with his prayer. Sumantra, haste, my will declare, the host be all arrayed. I to the wood my way will take, to Rama supplication make. And for the world's advantage sake, will lead him home again. Then order thus the charioteer, who listened with delighted ear, went forth and gave his orders clear to captains of the train. He gave the popular chiefs the word, and with the news his friends he stirred, and not a single man deferred, preparing for the road. Then Brahma, warrior, merchant, thrall, obedient to Sumantra's call. Each in his house arose, and all, yoked elephant, or camel tall, or ass, or noble steed in stall, and full appointed showed. Absolutely beautiful. Footnotes. 191. Not Bharat's uncle, but some counselor. 192. Shatakratu, Lord of 100 sacrifices. The performance of 100 Ashvamedas, or sacrifices of a horse, entitling the sacrificer to exist to this exalted dignity. 193. The modern Malabar. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful translation from Sanskrit to 18th century British. Sir Ralph Griffith. How did these people were able to translate like so beautifully? Absolutely beautiful. Description how Vashishta wanted Bharat to be enthroned right away, but then Bharat complained, I really don't want that. I want to go right to the forest to look for Rama and bring him back. And all these descriptions of the readying for the trip, all the soldiers, captains, the wives, they all knew what's going to happen. Everybody's going to go. The whole army is going to go to the forest, look for Rama. Absolutely beautiful descriptions. How everything was so rich. 10 million gems. 10 million gems. Who has 10 million gems? You cannot even estimate the richness back then. How everything is so rich. And people, the way they address each other is so respectful and loving. Because people back then were practicing, literally, they were practicing virtues, not vices, not cow eating, smoking, drinking, drugs, gambling, all the possible sinful, satanic vices. Back then, people were much more nicer. They were truly human beings. Not today, where they're slaughtering innocent animals. They pretend how they are great warriors, but they are nothing but a little timid, cuddly, vagina people that pretend to be some kind of freedom fighters, warriors, but they're all just meek, docile, unrevolutionary sons of bitches. Anyway, people back then, during Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, were behaving like human beings. The way they talked, the way they act, there was no need for contracts, because when somebody gives a word, that's enough. And today people can't even keep a word. So that's why we have to have all these contracts and lawyers, because everybody's cheating and lying and deceiving. That's Kali Yuga. Jai Shri Ramayana ki Jai. Roma Victa. Hail Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Ciao.